Hey everyone, hey, welcome to my first edition of What's in My Bag. Hey, we're going to make a delicious quick meal. I only have a few minutes, so we got to get this thing started. So we're going to make zoodles with a delicious sauce. So let's see what is in my bag today. I have, remember this, squash. I've already cleaned it, and I have my nice little spiraler here, and what we're going to do is spiral out some squash and put it in my bowl, which has some paper towel in it, so that it can actually drain out the water. So we'll go ahead and put it in here, squeeze it in, and make a delicious, quickly cooked, nutritionally packed, stacked with nutrition option for spaghetti. Oh, I think I got the wrong blade in. It always works to, it's always good to have the right blade because you want it to actually come out spiraling. Tri-tip ribbon. That's what we want. All right, try it again. Oops, and it also works to turn it the right way. Okay, I'm turning it the wrong way. Now we're turning it the right way. And we can see our zoodles coming out nice and spirally. Our squash. We're gonna have two different types of squash. This one is like considered the summer squash. I'm just gonna cut a little bit of that up. Or shall I say spiral out a little bit of it. And this is a great alternative if you want to avoid some of the more high glycemic carbs, and you want a carb that has lots loaded with nutrients. And your squash is definitely going to do the trick. So we got a couple of pieces of our squash going here. I'm just cooking for me, so I'm just going to do that. What else is in my bag? Hey, I got a considered winter squash or zucchini squash here. They both grow in the summer, so it really doesn't matter. They're both green. I'm going to squish this one in there and get this spiraling. This is a light one, y'all. So taking it, spiraling it out. Girl, I'm making a bunch of noise with this thing. Oh, let me move my stuff out the way. So I'll spiral this out, and then we're going to see how it goes. It's just, oh, look at that. Look at that. So, I like to eat my foods as fresh from the garden as possible. That way I know exactly what's in it. Don't have to worry about any preservatives. The seasons I put on myself, so I don't have to worry about too much sodium or other ingredients that maybe my body doesn't want. And you know, we like to feed our body what it wants, right? All right, so we got our spiraled up zucchini and squash, and it's on a paper towel. We're gonna add a little salt on it so that it can help soak out the water. These are zucchini, squash, cucumber, all in the same family. They have a ton of liquid in them. So we're gonna put it there, let it soak out a little bit, and we're gonna move our spiraler out the way. Take your spiraler, we'll take your little sections out there and move the cup. Get all we can get here. Now, this stuff is quick and easy. Doesn't take a lot of time to make this dish, and it is really, as I said, packed with nutrients. It only takes, when you prepare your noodles, zoodles as we call them because we're using zucchini, then you can definitely cook them in between 3 to 4, 5 minutes because you don't want to overcook it. You just want to be like al dente. So the next thing we're going to do in our bag, I'm going to put these to the side while they kind of soak out. And I'm going to turn on my skillet, which I have a nice cast iron right here. So I'm going to turn it on, but I'm turning it on real low because I tell you, when I turn it on high, it's on and popping in here. So I'm going to turn that on low. And the next thing that we're going to do is chop up a couple of things that we're going to use to put in there. So I'm going to do some carrots as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take the carrot. This one has been cleaned, so we're going to take it and just slice off some of the outside of it. Don't need to take out a lot. And slice it out because, hey, the more colorful our dishes, the more densely nutrient it is. And who doesn't want their meal to be full of nutrients, like packed with the nutrients? Because so many of the meals that we get are not. And unfortunately, this is causing a lot of sickness, even for our babies, our young people, because the meals are quick. A lot of them come out of packages. And a lot of it's because we think we don't have time to do this cooking. So today, we're going to do this really quick. So I'm going to slice, just kind of take my shear here and just take up a little bit of these carrots. Add some color. See, it's already sizzling. So I'm going to take some of these carrots, throw it in my dish as well. There we go. And I'm just going to chop up a little piece, a couple of pieces. Yes, yes, and more yes. Chop those in there. And the next thing I'm going to do is, who doesn't like a little onion? So I'm going to do for this one, for the noodles, I'm going to do a red onion. Because we want colors, right? And also the flavor of the red onion is a little bit different. So I'm going to chop up a little bit of red onion. I know you probably can't see it, but just chopping up this little bit of red onion. And I'm going to go ahead and put that into the pan. Let it start seasoning up my pan. I'm going to chop here, and here. And I'm not going to chop my finger. Take out the outside, move that to the side, slice it over, and you can probably put these in somewhat big slices. I'm making them somewhat small. Got my onion sliced, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that in. Let it go ahead and start seasoning up the pot. Wonderful. Maybe I like onions, so I'm going to put a little bit more. And that's my prerogative. That's my business. Take a little bit more here. Chop it a bit more. Move it over. And chop just a little bit more. So you're starting to season, which is perfect. A little more seasoning. And I'll put this on a little later. I just have a blend. It has salt and pepper in it. And it also has garlic. So I'll just use a little bit of that once I get it going. And what else do we have in our seasonings? We also have some smoked paprika. I'm going to also use that. And my favorite, because I like everything nice and hot, some cayenne. Again, cayenne pepper. All right. So for more color into this dish, I'm going to add some red and green pepper. Let's chop up a little bit, put that over into my delicious, nutritious bowl. Everybody got to have a nutritious bowl on their bar. You have to have something with fruits and vegetables. If you don't have it now, make sure you get one soon. Because if you don't have it available, then you can't have it to eat. You won't have it as a choice. So I always make sure my family had choices of selecting some vegetables with their food as a snack. Apples, oranges, all the stuff that we always had as kids growing up available. Bananas. So all the things. I'm going to take those, put them in there, let them saute out a little bit before we get our zoodles in there. They should be about ready. And let us get our here. We'll stir it around just a little bit. Oh, I do need to let you know that for my oil, and you don't always have to use the oil, but for mine, I'm using a sesame. Because I'm making a little zoodle here. I want to have that kind of sesame, almost Asian flavor. And I also like that you can use this with heat well. Because really and truly, a lot of our olive oils are not supposed to be cooked at a high temperature. And we're not cooking any of this at a high temperature. We want it to maintain its nutrients and maintain its flavor. So we're going to keep everything kind of at a low temperature today. Okay, letting that cook down just a little bit. And another thing that we're going to do, we're going to have on our sauce, our spaghetti, our zoodles, we're going to have some fire roasted tomato sauce that we're going to make just using this. So I'll go ahead and take another of my cast irons and put that in, begin to prepare that. I'll put a little bit of oil in the bottom. And all I'm going to do is switch pans because, as I said, the zucchini and squash doesn't need very long to cook. If you cook it too long, it'll get too mushy and you don't want that, or it get too tough. So we'll go ahead and put the carrots in there first. They might take a little bit longer to cook. Stir it around a little bit. The other cool thing about cooking with fresh ingredients is the smell. It smells so good when you're cooking with the fresh ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and take this spaghetti, tomatoes, put it in here, and then I'm going to add in some other onions here. So yeah, normally I would go ahead and put those onions, so I'm using a yellow one this time. I'm going to go ahead and chop that up a little bit so I can have some fresh onion in there. And by golly, I still got to use some onion powder. I can't just have this. Let me rinse this off a little bit. And get the chopping. I'm going to chop it kind of finely. Just kind of keep your eye out. I am very, very interested in getting us back to eating whole foods and not foods out of the bag or out of fast food restaurants. And I would love to be able to show everyone how easy it is, how it really doesn't take a whole lot of time. I'm going to go ahead and put these onions in this same pot with my tomatoes. Yes, I know normally I would saute them at the bottom, but today I'm just going to go ahead and put it there. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of the garlic, salt, and pepper. It has lots of thick garlic flakes on it. That's why I like it. And put a little bit of its smoked paprika on there. And I would put a bit of this cayenne, but I'm not going to put a lot. I'm just going to put a little. It's mine, so I can if I want to. And now I see that my onions, red onions that are going to be used for my Noodles are cooking nicely, so I'm going to go ahead and prepare to put my nice little zoodles, my noodles that were made. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of give them a nice little chop before I put them in, because I don't want them to be too long when I actually try to eat them, because they're all in one big slice. This also helps me get some of the water out. Okay, so you can see the towel is wet because it's taken out a lot of the water from the actual zucchini and squash. I'm just going to soak it out as much as I can, because I don't want it soggy, right? All right. So we're going to go ahead and, as a matter of fact, I'm going to take this and put it over here on the stove real quick. So while these noodles are getting prepared, those can be cooking as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take them out and just place them into the pan. These take about 3 minutes. I just want them al dente. This is going to be amazing. And you're just getting, and here I'm going to have this meal that's going to be loaded with nutrients. Polyphenols and antioxidants. Very good for your eyes, for your skin, for your digestive health. We can bring this into the center. Move these out of the way so you can see it. Now, one other thing I'm going to put in here is fresh from my garden, some basil. And I had it last year, and I'm still using it because I dried it out. And so I encourage people to also, get some things into your garden. This is the time. Oh yeah, still smells so good. And when it's fresh like this, I wish you could smell this. When it's fresh, and when it came out fresh, the flavor of it stays so much longer. So I like to just kind of cook it in. It's amazing how amazingly fresh it smells, and how scented it is, almost like it was when it came out the garden. I'll just go ahead and take a little bit there. And it's seasoning up. Don't want to cook it on too high of a temperature. I'll just toss it around. Now while it's doing its thing here, I'm going to go back there and stir up my other little pot. I'll take it up a little bit more. Let's go back here and see what's going on. Y'all want to make sure it doesn't burn, right? Thank you. So it says we're at 5:18. Yes, we're about 19 minutes in. We're going to give this another minute or two. And just like I said, I'm going to put some more garlic on this because I like garlic. What they're saying is organic, but we never really know, do we? So I'm just toss it up with some garlic and toss it over. It's looking pretty good. Be able to smell it too. Look. Yep. Smells great. It's going to be a great, quick meal, but it's also going to be amazing for my body. So all of our organs crave the vitamins and minerals that it needs to repair the cells, build the cells, maintain cells. All right, so that's enough right there. Like I said, we don't want to cook too much, so I'm going to take it and turn it off. Because I have a cast iron, that's still going to be cooking for a bit, and I'm going to let it sit there and cook just a little bit as a cast iron. While that's doing its thing, I'm going to bring this one over. This is nice and hot, and I'm going to switch. Put that over there. Put that over here. All right. And now we can turn this up and on. Get it on and popping. And we really don't have to do this, cook this too much. We're just going to let it get nice and warm so we can put it over our spaghetti, our zoodles, and then we're good. Now I will also put a little bit of Parmesan, and you can, in my noodles. And you can, if you want, put, if you want plant-based, you can put a plant-based butter on it to kind of give it a savoriness. Again, I am using the sesame oil, so put that, or olive oil if you like. Give it a nice little flavor, and then you're gonna be on and popping. Add any other seasonings you like. If you like a little extra salt, I can toss in a little bit of extra salt if I wanted to. And we'll let that boil quick, 50 minutes. And I did want to show you the salt that I use. This is an ancient kosher sea salt, and it is by Redmond. And I like to grind up my salt and my pepper. So we did use a seasoning that had it on it, but I use a lot of pepper. And pepper is good anti-inflammatory, as well as our cayenne. All right, this tomato's now boiling. This is ready, y'all. And you can cook that as long as you want or as light as you want. I am going to go ahead and let that continue to simmer as I plate up my dish. All right, let's see what this looks like. Let's see what it tastes like. That's our time. Take just a little bit of these noodles, zoodles. So here we are, our zoodles, and I did like a ribbon cut, so that's why you see the ribbons in there. Take it there. Get a little bit more. Get the onions, the red pepper. Get in here, red pepper. And yeah, you want to be in that plate too. And then okay, there you go. And now I'm going to sauce nice colorful noodles. I'm gonna go ahead and take some of these fire roasted tomatoes, put it on top. Some of the sauce. Smells amazing. And voila. So let's go ahead and taste this. Remember I said you can put some Parmesan, so I'm going to put a little Parmesan on there. It's just a dash, not a lot. You ready for it? And let's go. Let's go for it. See what we got. I want to get some tomato. I want to get some zucchini. Jeff. Oh man. All right, I'm actually surprised at how good this is. And that's sad. Less than 30 minutes. I cooked a delicious zoodle meal. Loaded with nutrients. Packed. Y'all, I got mine. I want you to get yours. Okay? Make sure your meals are packed with nutrients. Don't have them empty. Don't have them just single colors. Make sure they're multiple colors. Make sure they have fresh foods in them, and use your own seasonings. All right? So have a wonderful day. I think that you were created by love. I believe that you are well worth the love that you better be giving yourself. And from me to you, I do love you. And go ahead and give the rest of the love away. Have a good one. Bye.